This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me in the studio today are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar, also TSO Marketing Director, Vanessa Gardner. On the phone, we have Principal Second Violin and Artistic Administrator, Merwin Sue, and we also have on the phone a very special guest. Wait for it. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's try that. There we go. Please welcome Daniel Barenboim. No.
Really, it is wonderful to be here. Really, I have so much fun here in Toledo every time I come. It is fabulous. Huh?
That's better than I could have possibly hoped for. We're actually talking with William Eddens, conductor and pianist William Eddens, or Bill Eddens. We're going to call you Bill, making a return appearance.
That's
here.
Not Barenboim?
That's not Barenboim. Yeah, okay. Well, we've lost Zach. We're off to a good start. And I mean that in the best way possible.
Wait, what does that say about me?
Yeah. For those of you who may remember when William Eddens came to Toledo last time around, we had him on the podcast by phone, and it was a raucous time. So we're
it's one of my favorite interviews ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that about everyone. Don't worry, Bill.
It came up. It came up, Bill, that you do such a great Daniel Barenboim. I couldn't help but start off with an inside joke. I mean, you know, what better way to alienate our listening audience than to start off with something they have no idea what we're talking about.
It's basically how we do the show every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
True to form.
So, Bill.
It's Monty Python, except in Ohio.
Yes. So, Bill, you are coming to the Toledo area to conduct this wonderful concert.
He's also coming to Toledo. I mean, it's
not
like he's out in the suburbs.
Toledo.
Yeah.
Well, he has to pass through the area to get to actual Toledo, so...
It's a good point, really.
This concert is going to be a streaming concert. It's virtual only, but you're conducting it. Pianist Stewart Goodyear is going to be here again. He's doing Beethoven Piano Concerto No. 4, if you didn't know. And... couple other
it was the free.
Yeah, well, you still have time to prepare. Still have time to prepare. We have a couple of other works on there, also one by Stanley Cowell and one by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson, and I'll ask you about those a little bit later. But first of all, this concert is happening on Saturday at 8 p.m. It's virtual only. You can find information at stream.artstoledo.com or go to the website proper at toledosymphony.com. And you can also call them up on the phone number 419-248. What is it?
Oh, you're so awful at this.
I forget the number every time.
419-246-8000.
419-246-8000. We need a jingle to go with that, right?
Like the Empire flooring?
Exactly.
Yeah.
419-246-8000.
Yay! Okay.
Hey.
Oh, Lord.
So, now, let's see if we can get back on track here. Now,
we were never on it, so...
Now, Bill, let's see if we can get on track.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
All right, Bill. Now, everybody here knows you except for Vanessa. Vanessa has not met you before. And I'm willing to bet that some of the listeners to the podcast are not that familiar with you. So what we are going to do is have Bill tell Bill's story. And I don't want you to... I want you to go back to when you were around 5 years old and you got that first piano. Does that make sense? That was you, right? I got a little music for you. Hang on.
That was me, Sonny. Back in the day. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good line.
There's your mood music.
Suddenly I'm getting musical PTSD here.
Don't worry. Whenever Brad starts playing beautiful music, it usually comes out with some sort of ridiculous drum track, and it turns into like a disco version of Beethoven. It'll be fine.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Take it back to 5 years old. How'd you get your first piano?
Well, my parents bought it at a garage sale. I mean, how else do you get pianos these days?
It's a Cracker Jacks.
Right, exactly. It turns out that it is actually a very unique instrument. It's It was a Wurlitzer 7-foot grand made out of mahogany and cast iron steel, and there is no lid for the piano because the harp where the strings are is raised and exposed. So if you're looking at it sideways, straight on, you can see this kind of above the piano. And there's no fall board for the keys either. It turns out that it was one of a very special run that Wurlitzer made in the early 30s in an Art Deco style. And the rumor is that this particular one was made for the last concert tour of the great American operetta composer Sigmund Romberg.
Oh, wow.
And I still own this piano. And the weird thing about it is, for years, for decades, we thought it was the only one of its kind left in the world, because they made just a very, very few of these, and the information to try and find where they are has totally been lost in the stratosphere. And about 15 years ago, I was doing a tour over here at the Schubert Club, which is over here is in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And the St. Paul Schubert Club is one of the oldest performance, how would one put it, clubs, traditions in the United States. They get international artists and this and that and the other, and they have multiple venues. And they also have a fabulous keyboard museum, some great pianos and such. And I was taking a tour, and I came around the corner, and I saw the exact same piano as the one I own. And the funny thing is, Schubert Club was convinced that they had the only one left in the world,
right,
as well. And we were convinced of it. And the funny thing is that these two pianos are now living within 4 miles of each other.
That's amazing.
And
Wow.
as far as we know, they're the only two left.
That's fantastic. What a great story.
Did they get theirs at a garage sale too?
Probably.
I want to know about the Schubert Club. What is the dress code when you walk into the Schubert Club?
Yeah.
You have to have a powdered wig and
High collar.
What do you call those? High collar. There was a pontificate, and then a monocle, I think, is required for all gentlemen. Yes.
Obviously.
Ladies
Yeah.
have a hoop skirt for the ladies.
It's not the Colonel Klink Club. It's the Franz Schubert Club.
Do you have to sing like a few bars of Lieder to get in, or like what's the passcode? I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fidelio.
D. Farrellin. D. Farrellin.
D. Farrellin.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, funny enough, is the music that my washers for clothes uses to say that it's the end of the cycle.
Did you get it at a garage sale, though?
No, and I could not make this up either. But every once in a while, you're walking through the house, you're da, 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 dee, da, da, da. Oh, the clothes are ready. Da, da, da. So you slip down to the basement.
So you have to skip and hop over to the dryer.
Somebody at Whirlpool has a great sense of humor,
Yeah.
or was a failed musician.
Or they just
somebody.
looked for something that they didn't have to pay royalties on, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody's going to recognize this one, boys.
Yeah, totally. So, Bill, let me ask you. So, you started as a pianist, obviously.
Yeah. I continue as a pianist.
You continue as a pianist. When did you venture out into conducting, or, as we clarified last time, play conducting? Play conducting, meaning that you're playing the piano and conducting, not like doing the yeah.
Well, I got the bug at Eastman in college because I got to Eastman and I got roped into playing in the orchestras. And when you're a young pianist, you never play in an orchestra, man. I mean, you're always practicing your Chopin etudes and your Beethoven sonatas because, of course, being a pianist, you are by definition the center of the known universe. So you get to college and suddenly there are other instruments and you go, oh, what do those things do?
Had you ever been surrounded by that many people before?
No. Seriously? Only in my mind, and they were clapping uproariously to, whatever it is that I was doing.
Yeah.
But,
there they are.
Got the Eastman, there you go. I got the Eastman, and they roped me into playing in the orchestra. And let me tell you, there's some great orchestral piano parts and orchestral keyboard parts, and I had so much fun. I said, wow, I got to get me some more of this. And you know what? I'd love to play some Brahms. Now, the only problem being is that there are no orchestral piano parts in the repertoire of Johannes Brahms. So I had a choice. I could either, get up in front of an orchestra, wave my arms around, or I could learn the violin or something so I could play in an orchestra. And, frankly, I got enough problems playing the instrument I'm supposed to be able to play. So I went, okay, screw that. I'm going to get up and wave my arms around and see what happens. That's literally exactly what happened. That's how I got my start.
Well, I think that's pretty much what every conductor does. They just get up and wave their arms around and see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You make it sound like how hard can it be? I mean, you must have had some sense of the techniques required having performed under several conductors at that point.
Nope.
Nice try, Zach. Zach is warming up for the quiz.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Thank you. Yeah,
Is the quiz going to be named that washing machine?
Yeah, it is.
that would be outstanding.
Things found at a garage sale. Right. Vanessa, have you ever, where'd you get your horn? Did that come from a garage sale? Vanessa is a French horn player also.
No.
Well,
no.
we all ever crossed the bear,
But funny,
No.
she got into it because of Brahms, right?
No. No, my horn came from my first horn came from the Canadian brass.
Really? From the Canadian brass?
Did they know you took it?
Yes. Yes.
They had a garage sale. Yeah. The rest is history.
Concert ticket, $45. New shoes, $100. Stolen horn, priceless.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I paid every penny.
Yeah. Nice. So, Bill, I'm sorry. Where were we?
No.
You were talking about
but-
becoming a conductor.
Yeah, and I had to respond, nope. To the question, because it's true. You get up and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll just go like this. And you have, especially when you're a young conductor, you really have no clue what you're doing. I mean, now that I'm an older conductor, I at least know that I have no clue. But when you're younger, you don't even know that. So,
Yeah.
You just get up there and you're flailing away and people are trying to follow you. That's when orchestral musicians learn the great tradition of just keeping your head down and looking at the music and not looking at the conductor, which is the smartest way of getting through any career.
Yeah.
But
Vanessa's nodding her head while you're saying that. I don't know if Merwin is. Merwin is off somewhere.
I think it's really important we preserve the mystique at all times on this show.
That's right.
There's a mystique.
There is now. Some people think it's garlic. It's really just a little mystique in the air.
Yeah, there you go.
So I do have to ask, all kidding aside, though, I mean, now that you've been the guy with his head down, trying not to look at the conductor, and you are now the person who's on the podium, does eye contact or the lack of eye contact bother you?
Oh, yes. Oh, tremendously. On top of everything else, I've got these huge eyes. So, it's kind of hard to ignore it when I'm staring at you with these big globs that I got from my dad. Thank you, Dad, and genetics. And the thing that I do actually is I play chamber music. That's what I say that I like to do the most. And when you have that kind of contact, in a small group, in a trio or a quartet or whatever, it's very intense, and you kind of go into this little world and you're always communicating through the eyes and through the music or whatever. If I'm on a podium and I don't see anybody looking at me, I know something is desperately wrong. Either I am really screwing up or they're really screwing up or something in between or some combination thereof. But there has to be that kind of connection in order to make music as far as I'm concerned, because we're doing something which is aural, A-U-R-A-L, but we are visually wired human beings.
Absolutely.
And You got to be able to look and see and connect through the eyes.
Well, I'm going to jump in here because I know that you've recently done a concert with Minnesota. How has that kind of feedback changed when so many of the musicians are masked?
Funny enough, I think it's even more critical for us to be looking around because, now everything has been narrowed down to just the eyes. Right, we pick up so many cues from the position of the mouth, and whether people are smiling or grumbly or whatever, and the rest of the face. Just however many muscles there are. I mean, something ridiculous like 40 different muscles to smile or something like that. I don't even know. But
I don't even remember.
No, one muscle to smile.
One muscle
it's
to
the
smile.
zygomatic muscle.
Ooh. Or not.
Yes. Now we've turned into an anatomy podcast.
It is my
Yeah,
favorite
there
piece
you
of
go.
trivia, and let me tell you, it kills at cocktail parties.
Oh, I bet.
Well, it's a good thing that you have those large, expressive eyes, Bill, that the symphony can follow when you're giving cues like that. I want to jump over to our quiz real quickly and then come back and talk about the concert and talk a little bit about Stewart Goodyear as well. But last time you were on, Bill, you joined us, I think, midway through the podcast, and for some reason we were talking about craft beer, and you shared that you're a home brewer sometimes. And we have Beethoven on this concert, so what I've done is I put together a beer and Beethoven quiz. Okay?
I have a chance. I have a chance.
There's just a few questions here. Let me bring up a little music. Now, this is a Beethoven minuet that sounds a little bit like a Munich beer hall, so I thought it would work.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that Beethoven debuted in 1770. When did Beer in a Can debut? Was it 1733, 1833, or 1933?
Ooh.
1933.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it was 1933.
I'm trying to figure out if the
That
can
goes to
technology would have
Vanessa.
existed in the 1800s.
I would like the record to
No.
stand that there's no way anybody but me got that question right.
It was in
you
Newark,
have some
New Jersey.
PTSD from
I have
Michael Lang. Yeah.
some quiz PTSD.
Okay. So
I actually knew that for a reason, which we will get into after the quiz. But
the first beer was brewed in Egypt. Where did Beethoven give his first performance in front of other people? Was it in Vienna? Was it in Bonn? Or was it in Cologne?
Bonn.
No, this is not his actual... I mean, that would make sense since that's his hometown, but...
I'm going to say Cologne.
Yeah,
Really?
I may have made that up, but I found it somewhere that he was 7 years
Well, as
old.
long as we cite our sources,
Yeah.
we're good.
Wow, this is going to... Because what Wikipedia forgot to tell you is that he simply was wearing cologne and he was playing in Bonn. But, okay, we're both winning.
All right, let's move on.
Mystique or garlic.
Beethoven's teachers in Vienna were Haydn and Albrechtsberger. Which two states did not legalize home brewing until 2013? Which two states did not legalize home brewing until 2013? Is it Mississippi and Alabama? Is it Tennessee and Georgia? Or is it Colorado and Utah? Just take a guess.
I'm gonna go with Colorado
Not
and
in
Utah.
Utah. That's where I would go to.
No?
Nope.
Mississippi and Alabama.
All right, Merwin gets that one.
How did you know that one, Merwin?
Oh, I would have guessed Hawaii and Alaska because of Haydn and Albrechtsberger, but so I was.
Wow, if only I had your genius. I would
There you go.
have thought of that.
See how
Okay.
far it got him.
North Dakota residents drink more beer per person than any other state. That is 43 gallons a year per person. I don't know if that includes kids, but according to a global sleep study, which piece of Beethoven's music was most successful at putting people to sleep? Was it the Pathétique, the Billy Joel movement from the Pathétique Sonata, first movement from the Moonlight Sonata, or the Adagio, second movement from the Waldstein Sonata. Which one of those put
This
the
is
most people to
Waldstein.
sleep?
This is Waldstein.
I'm going to go with Waldstein.
No, no Waldstein.
Okay, so Vanessa, do you want to flip a coin on this one?
I mean, I think it's Moonlight, but it's probably not because it's too obvious.
Oh.
It's Moonlight.
Well, wait, do I have to take it back? Because you said it's probably not.
Nope.
I thought it was too easy because that was the Bill's story music. You were just
Yeah.
setting us up to think about recency effect, and of course,
My watch just
I
popped
need
up
to
with
do
an
the,
alert to keep crushing it.
I like how you
Very
watch
nice.
things that you're in the middle of a workout.
My heart rate goes very high in these quizzes, all right?
Okay.
Close my move ring.
Vanessa's heart rate goes very high in these quizzes. Which state outlawed?
Okay. Beethoven started to go deaf in his late 20s. When was the first non-alcoholic beer brewed? Was it 1919 with Prohibition? Was it 1929 with the Great Depression? Or was it 1939 with World War II?
I'm going to go 29.
29?
Go 39. 39.
I'll take 9.
I'm going to go 19 on Prohibition.
Yes. 1919, the first non-alcoholic beer because of Prohibition. The good news is I've only got one left. Okay.
Good.
The most popular beer in America is Heineken, followed by Corona and Guinness. So what was Beethoven's favorite beverage?
Red wine.
Was it? I didn't even
No,
get
it
to
was-
say.
Nope, that's incorrect. It was fortified wine. Ooh. Ugh.
Fortified with redness.
I think Bill and I are going to have a throwdown.
Well, no, that's
Yeah, we
fine. I'll give that one to Bill. But Vanessa, you're still ahead by one. So the winner of the quiz is Vanessa.
Wow.
Hey, look, I just closed a ring.
Unfortunately, it was
Very
your
nice.
stand ring that doesn't seem to count.
Very nice. Well, Bill, thanks for playing. Better luck next time.
No worries.
Let's hope your concert's more successful than your quiz performance.
Seriously.
Wow, this coming from the president and CEO. Way to instill confidence, Zach. That's okay. Let's talk about that concert a little bit. This is with pianist Stewart Goodyear, so you're not play conducting this one, Bill. You're
He's just
conducting.
play conducting.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine how awkward that would be?
Stewart has been here before. Have you worked with Stewart before, Bill?
Yeah, I've known Stewart for a goodly number of years. Worked with him a couple times for sure. Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
two fortnights? Is that goodly equals one goodly is 2 fortnights?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a not short of a hectare.
This is going on for long.
Oh.
I'm curious, though. What is it like for you as a pianist, to conduct somebody else playing a Beethoven piano concerto? Because you've done your fair share of Beethoven. I mean, what is that?
Yeah, I've done 1, 2, and 3, but I don't play 4 and 5 because I got other things to worry about in life. And so for me, I mean, the fourth piano concerto is like, man, you work that hard. That's fine. I will once again just wave my arms around and see if I can make the magic happen for you. But I think Stewart and I have done Beethoven. We might have done this particular one. I know he and I have played together. We did Mozart double and Mozart triple together. I was conducting, he was playing one of the parts. I think we did Poulenc double as well, which was huge fun. It's just such a great piece of music. So, I'm looking forward to working with Stewart again. I haven't seen him in a few years, or had a chance to work with him in a few years. So it's always great to work with someone who we've worked with before. You kind of know where the tendencies are going to be. You know how crazy they are, so that never comes as a shock. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm curious. Do you know those kids' books called Who Would Win? They have like different animals facing off. They have like a velociraptor against a pterodactyl or whatever.
Velociraptor.
Yep.
So if we had Who Will Win Classical Music edition, and we had the pianists, which one of you guys would win? You or Stewart?
Probably him. He probably practices a lot more than I do. I mean, when you're a conductor, you have to get into the score and do all this, and that takes time. Plus, I'm trying to open a brewery, so that takes up a lot of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Barenboim returns.
Really?
Are you really opening up a brewery?
Yep, sure am.
Is it called Barenboim?
I see what you did there. Actually, no, it's called Metronome.
Ooh.
Metronome, like Gnome?
No.
It's a very cosmopolitan gnome.
It's actually, funny enough, the gnome is our mascot, Gnome, but it is without the G, the name. This started late last year with a buddy of mine. Metronome is a socially missioned brewery, and our goal is to nurture outstanding music education in the Twin Cities metro. So all the proceeds for the sale of our beer will go to underwriting music lessons, music education, music instruments for underprivileged youth here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul and the surrounding area. And so we've been working on that for the last 4 or 5 months. We have our pilot brewery is going to be up and running in about a month, I would say. And we're hoping to be able to have our first beer available towards the end of this year.
That's fantastic.
That's what I've been working on. I mean,
so what you're saying is that the drinks are on you this Sunday, right?
Exactly.
I love it. I can't wait till you expand to Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, man. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm hoping that.
Well, you are now.
Yeah,
I am now. Right.
Oh, that's outstanding. I love the idea of supporting music with the profits. That's amazing. Well done.
Well, we're just about out of time. I do want to give you guys the last word. If you have any final thoughts, you want to wrap things up for us?
I hate for this to be the last word, but the Beethoven 4 has always fascinated me. And I just love to ask you, Bill, where do you go during the slow movement of this piano concerto? Because it is one of the most kind of hypnotic and creepy and beautiful at the same time. Where does your mind go when you're hearing this music?
Yeah, I've always said that the slow movement of the fourth is the moment where Beethoven just starts to trip out. I mean, you can just tell he is starting to reach for a different universe than what had been going on before during this time. For me, it's such a great conversation. Yeah. You have, the orchestra is kind of like the Greek chorus, and the piano is the hero that is trying to figure his, her, or its way through, I don't know, the storms of the Aegean Sea or whatever. But it's just such, it's a few minutes of just absolutely glorious music making. And it's for me, it's always a highlight in any given year when I know the fourth concerto is around. It's like, oh, what am I going to do with that second movement? It's because it is utterly profound.
That's wonderful. Do you want to say something, Bill, about the other two works on the program? We have Stanley Cowell's Fanfare and Fond Remembrance, which I don't know.
Right.
I love that title. And then the Sinfonietta by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson. Can you tell us about those?
Well, I understand that Mr. Cowell was a local gent composer who was active in Western Ohio. So it's always fun to find these composers who kind of pop up out of nowhere, and you go, well, where have you been all my life? What? Let me explore your musical language. And this fanfare is obviously for brass, and I found it to be a very melodic, very lovely piece, and I'm really looking forward to bringing it to the performance. And the Perkinson, interestingly enough, I do not know much about this gentleman, but I do know I really like his musical language.
Yeah.
That much I can tell you. if I do not know a composer, I will on occasion just dial up a video or a recording of a piece just to get an idea, an oral idea of what their musical language is. And I dialed up the third movement of this sinfonietta and went, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I like this. I like how he's making harmonies and rhythms work contrarian wise, and he's got this groove going here. And once again, where has this guy been all my life? And it's one of those pieces that makes you go, I'm going to explore and see if I can find more of his music. So I'm really looking forward to doing this. Matter of fact, I've already programmed this piece again somewhere else for next season.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, one of the great things about Stanley is he really kind of took the legacy of another great Toledo pianist, and Art Tatum, and so he really kind of immersed himself in that legacy. But it's really interesting in that we don't really hear that so much in this fanfare. He wrote this really for his hometown orchestra, and he actually wrote the remembrance part of it for his hometown piano teacher. So I think it's kind of got this really cool tie-in with some of the music education things we were just talking about, because he wrote this fanfare for his orchestra, but the remembrance for his piano teacher. And Stanley just passed away a couple months ago, and we just thought it would be great to bring this piece back a little bit to kind of, send him on with good memories and that kind of thing. So
I want to mention the concert again is Saturday, the 6th at 8 o'clock p.m., streaming online. It's virtual only. Pianist Stewart Goodyear with the 4th Piano Concerto of Ludwig van Beethoven, and the Sinfonietta No. 1 by Coleridge Taylor Perkinson, and Fanfare and Fond Remembrance by Stanley Cowell. All of it conducted by William Eddens, who has been our guest today. You can find more information at stream.artstoledo.com or toledosymphony.com. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Kern Foundation. You can download episodes of our program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony. You can visit their website, again, at toledosymphony.com, and their various social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget that you can find those streaming concerts, all of them, online at stream.artstoledo.com. My thanks to Zach Vassar, Vanessa Gardner, Merwin Sue, and William Eddens. I'm Brad Cresswell. You've been listening to Toledo Symphony Lab from FM 91.